Mm. All right, let's try that again. Let's go ahead and start. I forgot to turn the microphone on. Um, and it's 1 o'clock, so we're on time today. And I'm assuming y'all can actually hear me now. Okay, because I actually went through that whole sentences there and then realized the microphone's not turned on. So we are starting the second half of the semester now. You are on chapter 5 this coming 2 weeks, which is going to be doing IPAM, which is going to just be a management tool to manage the stuff that you've already you were doing in the previous 3 or 4 chapters. No DHP went back to, all right, so the previous 3 chapters, the DNS in the chapter 2 and 3 and DHCP in chapter 4. And so now you're going to do IPAM in chapter 5, and that they're going to show you how to work with it. And it's just a management tool they've got out there so you can centrally manage your DHCP servers, your DNS servers, and all your IP addressing and stuff. And keep all that together and get it well managed to it. To a degree, probably you're going to think as you're going through the chapter with a few servers that we've got, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to what you're doing, but like the illustration they got there at the very beginning of the chapter 5.2, the figure, or 5.1, showing a bunch of servers all working together, and the IPAM is managing the whole thing. And so that then you've got it into a central managing where you've got lots of servers still doing it. So that's what you're going to be doing with IPAM. And that they're going to show you how to configure it and then how to set up the various parts to it. It is going to use SQL Server for its databases. So they briefly just mentioned to you on that part, and then how to get all the stuff set up, and then how to retrieve your information as you work with it. IPAM is a newer item. I don't recall if it was in 2012 or not. Doesn't seem like it was. It either started in 2012 or it starts in 2016, but really now thinking further on it, I think it started in 2012 because we did do a little on it. But it's a new feature that's just come on with, that's getting more usage out there on it. So IPAM is a new part for that. As far as the class is concerned, a couple of things. Grading, I was caught up through the end of last week. They haven't done any, well, let me change that. I didn't do any grading Friday, Saturday, Sunday that I'm aware of. I may have done a thing or two on Saturday, but I don't think I did. I answered emails on Saturday, but I don't remember doing any grading actually. I did grade in another class this morning while I was sitting in that class, because actually it's my Cisco 1 class that's in person. I did grade a couple of things they had that they turned in to read on it late, but I was completely caught up through Thursday on all of the grading in all of my classes. Things that were due today or later were not graded. And so if there's any grading for me to do this afternoon, should be very minimal as far as what was due through last week. And I may go ahead and look at some stuff that's due today. If it's correct, go ahead and mark it. But if it's not, that people can actually keep turning stuff in till midnight tonight. That was due through today. And I do know there are some people, I won't mention who, that have gone on ahead and are several weeks ahead on assignments. And so I'm not grading those on ahead on it. I said I was going to put the review question answers out there when we talked last week, and no, I didn't get get to that I was working on some other stuff. For one thing is doing the PowerPoints for y'all's class, and also the PowerPoints for my 2601 class. That class, the PowerPoints, there's 26, 27 of them. So there's like 26 or 27 units in that class. And this is the first semester they've had the PowerPoints available for me. The materials actually, well, this is the first semester we're actually using those materials, correction. So they had major problems with those PowerPoints from ADA purposes. But for this one, there was some glitches through them. So I'm having to go through in this class and in that class. And that one, I'm having to do a lot more work on them to fix them. So I've been working more on those. But I'm ahead on those in here. I'd like to get those finished on up, but I'd like to do with the other two. So this week should be a normal week on us. Next week, Thursday and Friday are student holidays. They're not faculty holidays. We have work days that we have to listen to. We've got to do it online this year is what it sounds like, which is what I expected. We got to sit through seminars all day long for Thursday and Friday. So probably next week, Thursday and Friday, I probably will not really be answering email because I'm going to be working on this other stuff all day long. And so that's going to do that. Beyond that, and then after that, the following week is a full week for the school, but I've been nominated, well, this week, I've been nominated for Instructor of the Year, and my interview I have to do and speech I got to do Friday morning, so that's going to head down at Gordon County. So that's going to eat up Friday morning for me because I got to be down there at 10:15, and then not the next week or the following week, but March the 25th they'll announce the winners. So that day I got to be at Gordon County again for two purposes, for the Rick Perkins Award, and also the gold winner will be announced that day. And I've got one student up for that one. Hopefully she'll make the final four, which they should announce after next Thursday, because they do their interviews on Thursday next week, and we do ours on Friday. So then they'll pick 4 finalists for them, and then that next week they got to go for a interview with Chamber of Commerce people, and they'll select a winner, and then they'll announce both winners there on March the 25th. So hopefully, I'll keep my fingers crossed, maybe I can have 2 winners that day, me and my students. I'll wait and see. And then the week after that, the last week of March, which actually gets into the first day or two of April, first 2 days of April. So March the 29th through April the 2nd. And just because April Fool's Day is in the middle of that week, this is not an April Fool's joke, is spring break for y'all, and I'm intending to take off that whole week and take leave that week. So I should be out of touch really that week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I had my car worked on last week, and hopefully it'll be ready to go. And then, because the trip I was planning this summer looks like it's been canceled out on me, that I was going to go to Salt Lake City with the Kiwanis for their international convention in July or in June. Because I'm vice governor, I'll be governor-elect starting in October. But they canceled the international convention this week for the summer there. Although they said they were still going to do educational activities and stuff, so I'm not sure what's going on. But there'd be limited attendance, so maybe I can go out there still. I don't know. That's going on. Next year, the convention was supposed to be in Manila, Philippines, but they canceled that from the Philippines and said they're going to move it somewhere else. All of this because of the virus. I think the expectation is that, and so I've heard rumor they're going to put it in Indianapolis that next year, which is where it was supposed to have been last year, which is where headquarters is. And I have a feeling that's on the basis of that Philippines may not have the whole thing under control in a year or whatever. That third world countries may be, although the Philippines is not a third world country, although it's got obviously some things, but they're thinking that those that are not real well developed countries may still have problems with the virus and of people getting to go there also, versus if they have it in the U.S. that they're hoping that they can fully have it here in the U.S. and that things will be well under control and that people will be able to come here for it. So I didn't get to go to Indianapolis last summer, so maybe I'll get to go to Indianapolis this next summer. And then who knows what they'll do beyond that. I'm not sure what their scheduling is on it. So that's all up in the air. So at this point, that's where we are. The week of the 25th, so I'm guessing the 22nd through the 26th, whatever. Starting the 22nd should be the start of summer registration, and that you can register for classes then. I know that doesn't apply to Gina. I'm not sure on Matt. I'm not sure if you're graduating this semester or not. Are you, Matt? And thank you for both for the congratulations. But you filled one. Did you fill one out to graduate in December, Gina? Send a note, an email to Missy McLean and tell her that you had applied for graduation in December or short one course, and you need to fill out another graduation form. And she can let you know because she's the graduation specialist. But that's Missy McLean. So that's email address should be mmclain@gntc.edu if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, that's the correct name. So you graduate in the fall, Matt. Okay. So when summer semester starts, you need to apply for graduation, Matt, since you're going to graduate in the fall. Okay. But we need to go ahead and get you registered the first of that week when registration opens up. If I'm remembering correctly, it opens on the 22nd. So that's the big items. Keep up on the work. Continue doing the work. Your class should be in pretty good shape out there. I'm going to try to get back working on the exercises again and also start putting the notes out there. Which, yeah, I know chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 now are out of date for you. But then I copy this over to the next time I teach the class, which actually is in the summer. And that I'll have all that information already there. So I'll be adding that stuff in there. Hopefully in the next few days I can get myself up and caught up and get into chapter 5 with y'all. I'm going to try to put grades in right after I finish the session. But I've got you both marked down for attendance on it. All right, any questions for me today? Because usually y'all don't really have anything for me to go over in terms of what we're looking at in the chapter. But if you do, I'll be glad to spend some time discussing. They should all be set at password 01. They should have all set at the same password. Unless you
Okay, let me try that real quick.
Did change it was that if they expire, which sometimes they do on these, is to set them to being it's just to up the number on it, password 02. But DM2.
I got it. Can you hear me? I got it.
Password was, double check it right here. Yeah, password 01 with the uppercase P is what the directions had on it. So you forgot the 01. Okay. And Gina, that's no problem. I'll be glad to answer the questions whenever. Oh, that's okay. That's different. That I haven't had a student do that combination before. I've had them do with a 1 there and forget the 0, but not forget the 1. Okay, good. So I'll try to be online answering all along. But let's say Friday this week, I'll definitely not be answering emails that morning. As I say, my appointment is at 10:15 in Gordon County. I thought you had more done than that. That's strange. Okay. Where have I got? I want to see something. See what I've got mixed up here. Oh, you're correct. Okay. For some reason, I mixed up names on here somehow. Y'all do have a classmate that's gotten way ahead of the game. Matt, did you have me last semester for which class? I'm trying to decide if you're the person got a question for. You weren't in a security, well, could have been security. Are you in a security group that you're a member of? Okay. I'm trying to remember who it is. And there's a couple of names I've mixed in my head on it that it told me about a security group they're a member of in this area. And I had looked up some information on it and I was interested in joining it. And now I'm trying to remember who it is and what the name of the group was so I can get back in it. If I could remember their name, then I could find the information. Okay. But y'all have got a classmate that has managed to do everything. That has all the assignments done. But I don't think, this chapter, I don't think will be a real big problem on it. But you do have 2 weeks on it. But then the next chapter, I believe it is, that we've only got 1 week on it. There's one coming up here that's only got 1 week. And it may be the following one, because it may be, no. Yeah. Chapter 6, we've only got 1 week on that one. Looking at this, though, let's see what 6 and 7 are. I'm just curious on what I've done right here. That's remote access at 6. 7 is network policy server. Okay, I think that's correct. That remote access Y'all should be able to do that in a week. Because we had to cut a chapter to 1 week somewhere along here because there's 1 or 2 chapters. Because there's 9 chapters in 16 weeks. So we couldn't do 2 weeks on all of them, but we'll do 2 weeks on most of them. Okay. And that's like that. All right. Then if there's not any other questions for me, I am going to let y'all go. Tell you to have a good week. Stay dry, stay on the pavement. Because you got a choice, stay on the pavement or get in the water. As much rain as we've had, and we still got more rain coming, although the forecast looked better when I was looking yesterday. That we got a few drier days mixed in here. Middle of the week is what it showed last night. But who knows what it'll actually be today. Okay, so y'all have a good week. If you got any questions, contact me. And then chapter 4 should be graded within a day or 2. And we'll keep on going. So I'm going to stop the recording.